Yo, what's up there guys, it's Immersive Gamer 83 and thank you very much.
Watching VR Gaming Evolved.
What's up guys, it's Billy here with Pretty Neat VR.
Cooking and good looking, and welcome back.
Hello and welcome back to another Reality Check VR video.
And we're live. We are live and lewd with podcast number 44. We don't have Caleb tonight, so it was a bit of a stressful startup because we had to figure it all out ourselves without our technical guru leading us. We've got Don, VR Gamer Dude. We've got Greg, VR Gaming Evolved, and we've got the marvelous Game Hard 4.0. No upgrades. 4.01. Let's go for that.
Yeah, still in beta.
I'm just going to point out Don's beard. Mark, it's looking really good.
It's going out a little bit.
Almost longer than your hair.
Trim the other day, so.
Okay, that's good. Anyway, what are we talking about this week?
Well, I think there's been a lot of things go on this week. Obviously, as the title says, the biggest one was the Doom VFR release. Well, if you could call it that.
Any thoughts on that, Greg? Any thoughts on that one?
Yes, 6 months extra development might have helped.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
I think they released it a tad early, to be perfectly honest. I think more issues on touch than there is on the HTC Vive. Purely because on the it's been the dash mechanic in it has really been designed for the touchpad or trackpad over an analog stick, because with an analog stick you need to move this thing in the direction and click it every time you want to dash. So not only do you get a pretty sore thumb doing that, it's probably not great for your analog stick clicking it repeatedly time and time and time again if you're playing it for hours, but you do get a bit of a sore thumb. Whereas on the trackpad with the Vive, you're just sliding your thumb about. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more conducive to playing on Vive, I think. But that's just one of the issues with it. There's a whole host that we could go into there. Have any of you guys actually had the chance? Gamer, you checked it out? Anyone? No?
Because I am smarter than that. So I knew. I just had this. I had just had this feeling that they're gonna mess it up. So no, I'm not even gonna go into that. Because the fact that it pisses me off, the fact that we always have to so gently be thinking about all the knobheads out there who can't handle real teleportation in VR, and if it's something that's gonna break the immersion from day one, it's that stupid teleportation.
To be honest, I don't know if that's the reason that there's no teleportation in this. And with me saying what I'm about to say,
it's not.
I'm probably going to get shot down from a lot of people, or attempt to shoot me down from a lot of people for saying what I'm going to say. I think the reason that there's no locomotion in that game is because it wasn't designed for the Oculus. It was designed for the HTC Vive. And unfortunately, regardless if you're a bigger fan of the Vive or not, it has trackpads, and they do not handle locomotion as well as analog sticks do. And I think that's the reason that game came with no locomotion and a dash mechanic. I could be wrong.
What kind of confuses me is the fact that, okay, so the Doom, the latest and greatest Doom installment from ID and Bethesda is out on the HTC Vive. It's out on the PlayStation VR, and some of those, one of those consoles actually do have free locomotion.
The PSVR,
the PSVR.
Okay, so the PSVR and the PC versions have got locomotion, only if you use the joypad. But that then takes it. If you're playing this with a Vive, you're not going to want to sit and use locomotion on a joypad, because then you're aiming with your head.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's back to proper old school DK2 days. You don't go and spend, $6, or you might have even gone and bought an HTC Vive when it came out when they were £800. You don't want to sit and play that with a joypad. You know what I mean? You really don't. Some people will, but given that people have spent that amount of money on locomotion, their motion controls and room scale, sitting down with a joypad isn't really what most people want to do on a Vive.
Oh, and I mean, look at our touchscreen. We have the proper locomotion right here. You know, if they just would have taken the time to implement it. Now, what really kind of ticked me off, and I don't know how you guys feel about it, what about this apology from Bethesda over the whole deal? You know, saying that they didn't have a Rift to test it on, and they just didn't have the time to implement testing for the Rift. I don't know.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. I think they should be apologizing more for the issues that are in the game for the Vive than saying they didn't have time to implement it when they had meshes, because they didn't add support for the Rift day one. Valve did. And they did it by removing hidden meshes. So, and it was purposely meshes that were hidden. It's not a case of, you know what I mean, well, we didn't have time. No, I don't buy that at all. I don't buy it at all.
I agree. Complete BS.
Yeah, I mean, other issues with the game that I found, now, not that I'm left-handed, but in most VR games, and even indie VR games, you can take a weapon in your right hand and swap it into your left hand. You can holster it in your left or your right side if you want. There is no holstering in this game, and your gun is bound to your right hand. There's no way of even throwing it on the floor, getting it out of your hand, and your grenades are bound to your left hand. So for left-handed people, yes, if you've got Vive controllers, not so much Oculus controllers, you can swap them over, but you're going to be putting a left-handed hand model in your right hand. So your hands are going to be back to front if you swap the controllers over. And it's just stuff like this that, I don't know, it kind of escapes me how they've missed this.
Yeah, because what's going on with their beta testers over at that big companies? Because the fact that even smaller developers, maybe just one-man teams, have managed to come up with a better solution that they have done in Doom. So it baffles me. How can they have missed this? I mean, it feels like probably something rushed. I don't know.
Yeah, there's issues with the HUD also that I found. When you've got the HUD on, it's literally here in front of your face, like this sort of distance away from your face. So your ammo count and your health are right pretty much in front of your eyes, instead of having them lower down where they're not in your field of view so much. The HUD's actually intrusive. Now, also up the top of the screen, you'll have a compass like you'd have in Skyrim with your objective markers, which is kind of handy to have that, but it's up out of your field of view. Here, you can't turn the HUD off and leave the objective markers. If you disable the HUD, you disable it all. There's some things that you can leave on, but the objective markers you can't. So there's just a lot of things that I don't know. For me, I just thought, no, this is nowhere near ready.
Yeah, I think going back to GameHard's point earlier, where he was talking about the fact that, why don't they test? I mean, the smaller devs tend to obviously release an alpha, and the alpha will then be the way that they get all the bugs back in and they resolve the issues. And you almost get a bit suspicious of these larger companies for not releasing an alpha free weekend or whatever, because it's almost like they know it's going to get slated and it's going to get bad press by the YouTubers, right? And that's why they don't. And so then they're relying on their own internal testing people, and they're not going to be able to do as much. And like you say, they focused on the Vive because for whatever political reasons they decided to do that. So it's a pretty poor excuse, really. I mean, I absolutely 100% believe a smaller dev could have done it a lot better. You look at the way Standout's being developed. I mean, that guy, he seems to have given a free copy to pretty much everyone with a headset. I'm not sure how he's going to make any money, but that to one side, I think they've done a bad job.
Well, I got to interject, and I think Greg was doing a comparison earlier today on a stream. Even the Doom 3 BFG mod. I mean, if you take a look at the nuts and the bolts of that mod, I mean, that mod gives players everything they need and makes this old game one of the standout VR FPS games out there right now. I mean, from what I'm hearing, people are preferring the Doom 3 BFG mod over the newly released Doom VFR.
Yeah, well, I just checked it out. I know GameHard's checked that out in the past. What was your thoughts on that, GameHard?
Well, I think they've done a great job. The only thing that bugs me, of course, and I guess you can't expect a whole lot, but there's issues with the cutscenes. Naturally, that kind of throws you off a little bit. But all in all, I think it's absolutely worth checking out, though. If you have the game installed already and you kind of want to experience that world in VR, because the VR in it is very solid, and all in all, it got some tinks and it's not perfect, but they come a long way, though. I mean, it's quite good.
I think what I'm speaking to, though, is the customization. I mean, the fact that they have made that mod so customizable to where you can really tailor that experience to your personal play settings. So.
Yeah, I mean, they've got teleport in there, they've got locomotion, and considering Doom BFG, the gun model was locked to a static point on the screen when you were playing that in a monitor. They've even managed to let you swap the gun from left to right hand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you can take an old game that was a monitor-based game with a static placed gun and let people swap hands with the gun in VR, how can't they do this in a big-budget studio game, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I see Zip-On. I don't even know who that is, but he's clearly a fan. So, yeah, great to see you as well, Zip-On.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Graphics-wise, though, I'll go to a positive note for the game. Graphics-wise, it does look lovely. A little bit of issues with the frame rate. Even with GTX 1080 Ti, I was having a little bit of judder. Had to turn things down a little bit, but the recommended setting is quite high. It's a 1080 anyway, so. But it does look lovely. That is its one sort of redeeming feature, I'd say, just the quality of the graphics in VR. It does look beautiful.
Okay, so what else have people been playing this week?
Oh, you want to hear about my great scheme, my great plan these days, boys?
Go on, yeah, let's hear about it.
Yeah, I'm going to do something slightly crazy. Have you all heard about this desert bus? It was actually...
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You're doing that? Oh my god!
It's an old game, but now it's it's done correctly, and it's all in glorious VR, and it's all about driving from Tuscan, I think it is, and all the way to Nevada. It's an 8-hour trip in real time. So I thought, hey, maybe I should stream for 8 hours while I just drive a bus down a straight line ass road. And the fact that it's multiplayer slightly, the fact that your friends can jump in and tag along for the ride.
We could all be in the desert bus right now.
Yeah, we could be driving for 8 hours and just talk smack along the way. It would be amazing. I think I need to try that.
Yeah, I was thinking almost the same thing, but I'm waiting for the other huge news this week. I mean, obviously December 6th, we're getting Riftcore 2.0 and Dash. So you could be in your desert bus for 8 hours, but you could still pop up a window, have your web browser, so make the trip a little bit more bearable.
Now that is going to be good. I'm actually looking forward to Dash. When does that actually come out? I totally missed that.
December 6th. December 6th. So we are literally 3 days away from seeing the first major overhaul to Oculus Home and the Oculus system utilities. So, the ability to pull up a web browser in any game, the ability to pull up your desktop in any game. I can't remember which one of us did it. Was it Wayne? Somebody played Elite Dangerous and then played Minecraft in Elite Dangerous using...
I think it was Wayne.
I think that was Wayne, but we're going to be able to do that. I mean, low resource games like that, you could be on a long haul in American Truck Simulator or driving the desert bus or flying your Starfighter and then just pull up a desktop window and play a low key game while you're doing it. I mean,
that's almost cheating in Desert Bus, though, isn't it? That's like,
I guess that
watching Netflix. You can watch the whole series of series 1 and 2 of Stranger Things, and doesn't seem much of a punishment.
That is true. But, I don't know. I've been using that V dashboard thing.
Oh yeah, hello V, isn't it? Yeah.
In Elite, and it works okay, but I mean, Dash is going to just open up so many more possibilities for us. I mean, even us as streamers. I mean, imagine no more. I mean, we want to just capture the pop-out window for the chat. We can have it right there in any game that we're playing.
or even video editing from inside home.
Exactly. So huge potential with this. 3 more days to go, guys. I cannot wait.
So what else have we got to look forward to on the old release front? What's big?
Well, we have something to be scared about now with the Doom release with Fallout 4 coming out. Is it even going to work for the Rift?
Well, they fixed that, right? Steam VR fixed that.
The beta that just came out, allowing us to play Doom, basically, I think that's covering games from now on, is what they were saying. So we should be good. We should be, unless they want to block the entire headset. But fingers crossed that doesn't happen.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I mean, with the whole Fallout 4 VR thing, my understanding is that you have to physically kind of click the button, as it were. The developers have to consciously make the decision to block Oculus or block Vive, and Steam VR's effectively overridden that override. So we'll see. I mean, I'm pretty sure it'll work. Maybe I won't buy it though. I'll just hang on like 2 hours just to check check the other guys' work, and then buy it.
I can't wait for it. I really can't.
Well, it does look good, Greg. You've got to admit. I mean, the videos you've seen with all the kind of building mechanics and the fact you can sort of, the menu systems look absolutely flawless. They certainly look good. So let's see what comes out.
So yeah, that's on the 12th, and then on the 15th we have LA Noire Case Files as well.
Oh yes.
So looking forward to that. I've noticed though on Steam that's HTC Vive only as well, so we'll see what goes on there. We'll just need to wait and see, I suppose.
That is a bit of a wait and see, as you rightly say. I'm that's the one I got excited about recently, because they say that the most fun thing about that game is it's effectively like a boxing simulator. You can sort of just roam around the town just punching people. I don't know, just that seems quite appealing. Hey, you look like my old maths teacher. Whoosh.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're a streamer, Chris, just going out on the riot in the town, it's going to be a gig.
Oh, mate, that's a gift. That is a gift. That's a kind of, that's clickbait aplenty. How many nuns can I punch in an hour?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There's your first one. Oh dear. Different demographics of people you can punch. I'm definitely doing that now. Nobody else do that. That's my idea.
Okay, no, you got it.
All right, what else have we got?
We have another game called Operation Apex coming very shortly. I'm not sure on the date. I'll have the date in just a second. It is on the 11th of December. So, yeah, around about the same time, in between Fallout and LA Noire. And it's basically a diving type of game. It looks like it's got very nice visuals. Use virtual reality to uncover the secrets of the Big Blue in an atmospheric deep sea dive. As you bear witness to an underwater marvel, your mission becomes clear. So that's a brief description for it. It's got a Steam page at the moment, and it does look quite pretty. Developer is
Curiscope.
Indie action adventure simulation.
Curiscope, it says. A Curiscope. I guess Curiscope might be the Curiscope.com/Apex. So I just put a little video up there in the corner. So yeah, that does look quite fun, and I'm guessing that'll appeal to most of us. I think some of the early VR demos. You remember, what was the name of that fantastic ocean one? That was like, goodness me, I've completely forgotten it. The one where you're under the water, and then eventually, if you go too deep, a shark eats you. That was just Ocean Rift. Yeah, that was really, really good, and I remember everyone going mad about that. But yeah, we need another decent ocean game like that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, if you haven't played it this week, the Titanic VR came out, and I gotta say, the parts of it are like, really, But when you're in the little sub and when you're in the little ROV and you're exploring the wreck of the Titanic and you're looking for the different things that you've been sent out to find, it had a really good sense of immersion in that mini sub. I mean, absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I'm just playing a little video of it.
I'm still to do a video on that. I've been meaning to try and get around to it, but it is cool.
Yeah, I played it a bit last night, and I gotta say, I was happy with it.
So it's aiming to be educational and sort of accurate educational kind of material, right? But it has a bit of gameplay and fiction to it as well, I understand.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you got some voiceovers from survivors, and they tried to, as much as possible. I actually read an article about that this morning. Keep it as historically accurate as to what the wreck would be. Now, obviously, they've taken a little license because, when you're exploring, there's still some little bits of wooden furniture that would have deteriorated naturally by now. But the developers had a point. It's going to be pretty boring, flying your little ROV through a bunch of empty rooms in a shipwreck. Yeah. But it's definitely got some gameplay. You can even grab the little sticks with your touch controllers, or you can use the analog sticks on them to move the sub, reposition the lights. I mean, you got a little gameplay element in there. So
it does look absolutely stunning, and I have been meaning to take a look at it. But absolutely, I'm just playing a video in the background here, and you can see it up here. Mm-hmm. It looks absolutely beautiful, and the fact that they have the ability to go around the Titanic kind of before and after, which is a very nice touch.
Yes. Absolutely.
It looks absolutely stunning. So yeah, one to look at.
What was your opinions on that game, Howard? You had a little bash at Titanic, didn't you?
Yeah, I sure did. I was just about to oh shit! What am I showing now? All of a sudden, I'm you. What? Oh, that didn't work very well.
No.
It was sharing Inception. Oh god.
We're sorted. We're back.
There we go. No, I was just looking at this guy's comments on the good old Titanic here, and I think he kind of, he puts it very well. He says, was really looking forward to this, and it does deliver some really cool immersions, and there's a major bug for me in that using 2 sticks at once in the submersible resets my position in VR. I didn't see any problems there. I will also agree with the fact that he says the scale when playing as the ROV is off. It is off. Yeah, because everything seems just a tad too small, and the doors inside the wreck, for example. Also, as others have said, some of the grabbing and selecting mechanics are very confusing. But all in all, I think it's what fascinates me about our experience like this is the fact when I think about history and learning and the fact that people can now have a first-hand experience of what it looks like down there, and because it's slightly eerie as well to roam around in the wreck and knowing what happened, the story behind it, and now being so close to the real thing, because it actually does feel like you really are looking at a submerged wreckage. And as Don also pointed out, is the fact that, they have kind of built the ship like it would be for a couple of years ago, because as he said, now
I think they said in 1985, like they built when it was found in 1985.
Precisely. But all in all, it has 11 ratings and 4 stars on the old Oculus Home. So I think it's worth checking out for sure. See if I can get back.
Back to reality. Okay, cool. There you are. Yeah, no, it does look nice, and we don't have enough of these kind of educational things. There's stuff out there, but it's not a huge amount of it. You know what I mean, of educational titles. Because I was talking to a teacher the other day, because he's very into this kind of new technology, and I've been trying to. My work, they're very nice. My work, they give me 5 days a year to do kind of charitable stuff in the community, and I'd really like to use that to do some VR stuff in school, so I can do stuff I want to do. I've been talking to this teacher about, what are you doing this term? Maybe I can find a VR experience, and he'll tell me, and I'll go, yeah, no, there's nothing like that. And actually, it's pretty few and far between. If he's doing space, that's easy. I can stick him in 100 different things for space. But then if he's doing ancient Egyptians or something, you're like, well, there's not a lot of that. And You know what I'm saying? So I think there's still work to be done.
Yeah.
So
Definitely a future for that sort of stuff, though.
oh,
No, and it
definitely.
really, I mean,
Yeah.
when I sit there and I think about my kids being school age, I mean, elementary school age, the fact that, you know, here in the next, when they get to high school, this is the way they're going to learn, you know, and that just blows my mind.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely right. So I had a question in chat just here. I've just lost it. Zipon, he asks, did any of us support the Pimax Kickstarter?
Yes and no. I ordered the 8KX and then I slapped myself a few days ago and thought, why are you doing this, you fool? And I cancelled it. And
So that's one almost then.
yeah, I'm going to sit on the fence with that one and see what happens. And you know what? Main reason was the Pimax 4K. It didn't really get a great reception, and that's kind of really my main reason. And I sit on the fence and see what happens when that thing comes out and what the reviews are, because at the moment I don't really have the cash to be. Well, I could have done it, but it's a gamble. You know, when you're tight, something like that's a gamble, and I'll let other people take that gamble for the time being.
Yeah, good point. I think Nathy, funnily enough, mentioned something. I think on Twitter the other day, because I sort of took the piss out of him a bit because he said something negative about the Pimax, and I said, "Oh, what's the matter? You're not got one to play with then." And he wrote back and he said, "Well, that's the point. That they're not giving out any units to anyone, and if you want to see it, you have to kind of book an appointment." And it's like one-on-one, and they're only inviting journalists, and it's a very specific application. You know what I mean? It's a completely controlled environment, and you think, well, that's a bit suspicious, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, alarm bells, right? Alarm bells.
Yeah, that's, I don't know. Too secret.
Yeah, I mean, I wish them all the best, and to be perfectly honest, I would love to see it being a fantastic piece of kit. Better than everything else that's on the market, but chances of that happening, I don't know. I
don't know. I mean, I'm definitely in wait and see mode on this one. I mean, that if they can deliver on the promise, then more power to them, and I will jump on that immediately after I see the first good reviews of it. But I don't know. Like Greg said, man, I'm not going to take that kind of a gamble right now.
Yep, Christmas is coming up. The kids need presents.
Kids, we got a new HMD, another one.
Yeah. So, sleep in the shed. Yeah, exactly. So, what else have you been playing this week, guys? I know I don't want to dominate by talking about the one thing I've been playing this week, but anyway.
I think I might know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing that as well, Chris.
I want to play it. I haven't played it yet. But
we should do it after this, Don.
Yeah, if we have time.
Yeah.
So we got a piece of that action as well, actually. Stand out.
We've all got keys. Have we got a bit of time after this? We should all jump in.
Yeah, we can do that. So keep an eye on our channels after this, and I'm sure we'll do a bit of streaming. So Stand Out, just to be clear, is a PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds clone. It's not pretty. It's buggy as hell, but it's probably the most fun thing in VR currently. It's just great. It's just really well done. I mean, it's got a lot of things that need to be done, and what's great is the dev is like absolutely plowing through all the requests. He's adding stuff on a daily basis. It's got hugely active development, and if it goes in the direction we all hope it is, this will be probably the best PUBG clone out there. It's already, I think, beating Bullets and More, which is a much more further developed game. So yeah, it's good. It looks very good.
Sounds promising then.
Yes, we've had a lot of fun in there over the past few days.
Yeah, I'm especially fascinated by when you're nicking somebody else's gun and weapon. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Can't wait to try that out.
I did one the other day. In fact, I can probably just whack up. You know, I don't promote my channel too much, but I've actually managed to get a clip of that on my YouTube channel. But anyway, talk among yourselves. What was your favourite moment recently, Greg?
The game is available on Steam, or is it not available
no.
yet?
It's not available yet, no.
Okay. Okay.
It's in very, very early alpha stage at the moment. It will be available on Steam. When? Don't know yet. But at the moment, although it's a lot of fun, there are obvious bugs that need to be sorted before that goes to asking for cash, you know? Once they get those bugs sorted, then they're going to have a lot of fun on their hands in this game. So yeah,
basically, you're shit out of luck. So you just have to come watch our channels to experience, stand out or stand down or stand.
I'm just streaming a clip here. I'll just talk through it. I ran around the corner. I grabbed the guy's gun, grabbed his ammo, managed to drop the gun. So I picked up the gun and the ammo. And then he was so confused and I think really annoyed by it, he sort of faffed around a bit and ran into the house to find another weapon. I then loaded his gun, followed him in there and shot him on the doorstep. He was so annoyed. I imagine that was just about the most humiliating thing in the game, but it is immensely satisfying when that happens. So, yeah, there you go. The fun you can have stealing people's weapons.
Just watching the clip now.
Yeah, it's good fun, actually. It is really good fun. But, yeah, that so many times, because one of the worst things about playing any kind of scavenger type game like that, where you're dropped in with no weapons, is you go in, there's like 10 people around you, and you can't find a gun, and you know everyone else has got a gun. But in that, all you have to do is sort of camp out, wait for them to walk into the house, and just grab their gun. And they're like, no! And you just...
I think you should have played the clip where you were crying and moaning like a little baby when somebody stole your gun.
No, that clip's not as good. I don't look quite as good in that clip. Oh, yes. I showed that to Penny and she goes, that is not attractive. Don't ever show me that again.
Sipon comes with a good one here and he says, what's the best VR experience you've ever had? Question for all of you. So hit it, boys.
Ooh.
I don't think they can mention that on YouTube, by the way.
Those experiences we can't talk about.
Don, your chat's muted, mate.
Right, done. We didn't have to tell him.
I see him talking, but nothing's
You didn't have to tell him.
I said yes, no, not sharing any of those science experiences, but
it was for science.
For science, man.
That's hilarious.
I think that's actually quite difficult to answer because most of us have been in VR since the days of DK1, and actually Don here, he has been, in VR once the dinosaur roamed.
From the time of the Neanderthal.
Yeah, precisely. So that is a difficult one.
I would say my most played VR game. I don't know if it's the best, what I would class as the best game I've played in VR, but definitely the one that I've played the most, Elite Dangerous. I've got quite a lot of hours in that. I do enjoy it. There's a lot of things I've played in VR that are awesome, though. So that's a hard one to nail.
I don't know. I've got an idea. And again, there are you could classify it into 10 different classifications of VR experiences, and this one is good, and this experience in this particular area was great. But I honestly think the old days, when we just got our CV1s, maybe even when we had our DK2s, when we used to play a lot of Project Cars and Assetto Corsa, and we just used to race around, drive round and round and round, and we used to play for like 4 hours on the trot. I used to love those experiences. I thought they were absolutely fun. Why don't we do that anymore?
Yeah, we should do.
We used to love that stuff, but yeah, those were the days, man.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It was something new, and it connected us in such a great way. But if I'm gonna think of a game now, I'm just trying to look through some of my videos, and I must say that I really did enjoy Lone Echo because the game featured a pretty solid story and solid game mechanics. It just simply worked, and it kind of sucked you into the story as well. So Lone Echo was probably one of my more favorite VR experience, and also Rick and Morty was very, very impressive. And there was another one as well. I'm just scrolling through some of my videos to see if I can figure out what that was called.
I did enjoy Rick and Morty as well. Actually, to be honest, that was a very silly experience.
Oh man, I just wish it was longer. I do too. Just needed to keep going.
Yep. Actually, something that I've really enjoyed lately, and it's been because it's multiplayer, has been Payday. That game just shot up in the VR ranking from awesome fun.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got mates that you can jump in and play with, you know?
It really is. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That one for me was brilliant. I didn't think I'd enjoy it quite as much as I did, but it's got that kind of stealth hitman aspect to it where you can just go in and you're talking to each other and you're using sort of language, you know, and you're directing people to places and saying, oh, there's a bloke coming. It's just really immersive. You're really part of the environment. It's really incredible.
Yeah, no, I mean, and for me, I mean, obviously the same as, Elite Dangerous. I've had so many what you call oh shit moments in that game. You know, and then kind of going to Chris just on a different level. Euro Truck, the old days back in the DK2, Euro Truck, man. Just my truck and just driving. I used to love the hell out of that. It just, you know, sometimes when the sun would start going down and start raining, and I mean, it would instantly hit me into presence every time.
It is amazingly good, yeah.
Yeah, we should probably have mentioned, you know, what Sipon is saying here. His best experience was VR chat, and I agree that the social VR applications are absolutely phenomenal, actually.
Mm-hmm. I spent a lot of time in VR chat back in the DK2 days. I spent quite a bit of time in there, and it is awesome. There's an awesome environment, and VR chat's actually come on a long way in the past. Hello, Billy.
Oh my God, it's Billy.
Just to be amusing, I put up a picture of a VR cat instead of VR chat because I'm hilarious. Hello, Billy.
From HTC to come on there, Billy, and make that Vive symbol as you came into the stream.
What's that?
He did do that. He did do that.
You can't get paid from HTC to come in and make that Vive symbol with your hands when you came in.
Oh yeah. Sponsored by.
Everyone's looking very beardy.
If I was sponsored by it, they should give me a friggin' base station, man.
Yeah, they should.
Absolutely.
Good to see you.
Live listening, send Billy a base station pronto.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, can we get Caleb and Wayne here, and then we'd be complete, wouldn't we?
Wait.
We'd be complete.
Yeah, who we got here?
Okay.
There we go. Do the opposite one.
So Billy, what have you been playing this week?
Battlefield. Did a little Battlefield. No VR though.
No VR. Get out.
I want to play Payday though. I have Payday 2, and you guys still play that or what?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Jump in there. It's amazing.
Nice. It looks awesome.
It is awesome. It is.
Okay.
Yeah, where's Caleb at? Is he working? I think I saw
just put a message in the chat. I'll try to jump in soon.
Oh, we'll be winding up soon. We were only going to do this for an hour.
I was going to say, this was going to be a short.
So
which, I got to give Loading Human, actually. If you haven't played that already, you should. I like that, actually. Well, there was a lot of drama around, once again, the locomotion, but once you kind of got a grip of it, it was great. So I'm still very excited for Chapter 2. Can't wait.
You know, you guys are mentioning games, and it's really terrible. I haven't played any of these games. I haven't played Loading Human. I haven't played Lone Echo. I haven't played Echo Arena. You know,
you haven't played Lone Echo?
No, I've never.
Echo Arena is awesome. I haven't played it.
Yeah, you got to play those for sure.
Yeah, just
Echo Arena is awesome, man. Really good.
Now, I will say I've never played Echo Arena.
It's good.
It's fantastic.
Fast. I mean, obviously, you guys have probably seen Caleb stream it before, but man, it's pretty intense. Pretty intense little game. You guys probably talked about Fallout, didn't you? Are you guys pretty stoked for that?
Yes, can't wait. Can't wait for Fallout, Billy.
Me too, dude. I'm printing out right now I'm printing out a Pip-Boy because I want to put my phone in it and then see about like getting a Vive tracker so I can have it. I don't know. Hopefully some mod will like make it so I can have an actual Pip-Boy on my arm and be able to use it. I wish like Bethesda would do that.
Jesus Christ, how old is this Paradise Decay bastard? You know, he when I was a lad, we had to cut a chicken egg in half, put a pinhole in each one, and make our HMDs from sticks. Damn, son.
Well, that you know, Gamer, I can relate because that's probably about what my first HMD.
I think so too. You were, you definitely experienced with something like that.
Oh yeah, the eggs and the pinholes, man, we were all over that, man.
Yeah. I pity the fool.
You get spun around real easy. What does that mean? What you mean? We can't stay on track with the conversation? Yeah, you're right there. We never stay on track with the conversation.
Yeah, but that's the beauty of our podcast. We come into this with no idea what we're going to talk about and just.
No, this is people don't realize this is completely unscripted, man.
I've just realised they're probably talking about Lone Echo.
Oh,
sorry, there's some English colloquialism creeping in there. Sorry, yeah.
Well, yeah,
Maybe
you can get spun
about
around.
Lone Echo, though. He maybe was talking about Lone Echo getting spun around.
Mm-hmm.
I think so, yeah. So I believe Caleb is actually in some kind of tournament today, which is quite exciting. And unfortunately, Caleb's not on to talk about it, but he will be, I guess, streaming and part of some tourney. I'm trying to find something online to share. But
Caleb has been playing in, is it ESL?
Yes,
I think it's some sort of esport league. And it's a cash tournament. They pay for cash prizes. Apparently.
Yeah, 100,000. I think that's what he's going for.
Yep. So
I'm just bullshitting. I have no idea. But
no, I think it is. I think the actual end final winner of the tournament, it is quite a big lump of cash. I don't know.
It's $200,000. It's
$200,000. To space. The winner gets a trip to go out in space and play it in real life.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh, that's good.
No, that's what they should.
Yeah, because it looked like I'm just reading up as I speak, but it looks like there was obviously the unspoken trailer. What was that?
What happened?
I don't know.
I think Caleb's commode just broke.
Kmart just got up and left, man.
Yeah. Okay. No, I'm not sure.
It's a 3D printer.
Or is it?
Oh.
Something going on in the background. All right, we won't worry about that. So they did a round of the unspoken, and they did, and now they're working on Lone Echo. So yeah, let's see what happens there. Then that'll be interesting.
Yeah, I'm actually really looking forward to the next stepping stone in that series, which is Echo Combat.
Yeah.
Which is going to be a zero gravity first person sort of combat multiplayer shooter.
Yeah, that could be quite interesting.
And I think that's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah, Lone Echo. I mean, I still can't believe I haven't played this. It does look absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, we'll go.
It's quite possibly one of the best games I've played in like a while. If you're really wanting something, I mean, the single player side, cinematic, just absolutely fantastic mocap. I mean, the environments, the movement, though, I mean, is what makes it feel so good. Is the fact that you're in 0G and you're actually having to grab and pull and push yourself. And I mean, it just immersion level times 1,000 in that game.
That's good. Okay, guys. I know we didn't want to stay on too long today, but is there any final points or indeed any questions from people watching before we close down the stream for today?
I have a final thing that I'd like to mention before we do. It's just another game. I don't know if any of you guys have seen this. It's called Survive. And it's going to be releasing on the 30th of December, so it's not far off. But this is basically, it looks like Left 4 Dead.
Really?
Yes, it's spelled SURV1V3.
Okay.
It's from Candy Makers, releases on the 30th of December. It's up to 3 players in co-op, and it's zombie survival, apocalyptic type thing, and it screams Left 4 Dead to me.
Oh, I'm looking forward to this then. I'm just looking at the video on Steam. It looks great.
Mhm.
Oh, look at this. Yeah, Left 4 Dead. This is Left
We
4
have a
Dead.
wild Caleb in the chat now.
Well, I got to show you this, though, boys and girls, because I'm proud of my 3D printing experience.
Oh, wow, check it out. Dinosaur.
Me and Billy, you know, look at this.
Whoa.
Seeing this, guys?
Unbelievable.
This is
That's
3D
really
printed.
cool.
Isn't
That's
this
something
That's
else.
nice, dude.
It's actually 600 millimeters long.
How many parts is that to print?
That's crazy.
I think it was 79.
You're
Wow.
kidding me. 79 parts.
It's available on Thingiverse, so check it out if you want to have a 3D printed T-Rex.
That is
And
unbelievable.
It's everything.
Dude, the one I'm working on is like 40 prints, 40 different ones. I can't imagine printing like 70 or 80 different pieces.
It was a lot of fun, and it's it's anatomically correct. It's 20 times smaller than the real deal. So, yeah, when looking at this, I would say that I would definitely not want to make this thingy in a dark back alley.
I read an interesting thing the other day while you've got that skeleton up, because typically when people talk about dinosaurs, right, you know how like they've created the monster from the skeleton, right? So they've got the fossils and then they've created the monster and they've worked out what it would look like. They've pretty much just put a layer of muscle around the skeleton, and actually no animal on Earth looks like that. And what they're saying is, if you actually add a layer of fat in the same way that whales and cows and we have fat, then dinosaurs would be quite hilarious looking, quite podgy and sort of cuddly. And so they're saying that they're not like these skinny reptilian horrendous looking things. They're actually just probably quite cuddly. So there you go.
So Barney the dinosaur is more anatomically correct.
Closer to Barney the
Probably,
dinosaur, yeah. And we've got
Hey,
Caleb.
Caleb.
There,
Hey,
look
Caleb.
at this guy. He is the epitome of Florida. There, look at that, with his bleached blonde hair. So, dude, are you going to tell us about your tournament with Lone Echo?
Hi. Can you guys hear me?
Lone Echo. Let's keep it on topic.
Sorry, I'm a little zoned out right now. I've been taking some Sunny Blue. It's been really good.
I've got some Sunny Blue. Where is that? Hold on, let me find that.
I had some stomach flu earlier this week, so I've just been trying to stay positive. And an eating course supplied me with some Sunny Blue, and it's just been taken over.
I
How does
also
yours
have
work for you?
some Sunny Blue. Well, it makes me feel a lot better about life. The choice for peace of mind. Sunny Blue.
Yeah, Gamehard, that is an impressive dinosaur I saw there. How many hours was that total?
That's a good question. It wasn't. Well, what was it? About
3 years.
Well, let's say about 2 days. 2 days of printing, I would say.
Constantly tending. a printer?
Available on Thingiverse. I would leave a link somewhere. I will get to that. So it was a fun project.
That's pretty cool. Can I show you my most recent project?
Yes, would you do? Yeah, that was. Can I guess it's your link sword with 3D printed with 3D filament or wood filament? Sorry.
Sword.
No, this is actually my last 3D project. My newest one is this one.
Cut a watermelon in half or something with it.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got a friend who'd be so jealous of this. He's 5. No, I'm joking. He can't even hear me.
Or what do they
I'm
cut?
having a go.
Like bamboo sticks or something?
It's a
not
big
Wow.
one.
done yet. Not
Big
quite
one.
done, but it is Link's Master Sword. And
Holy hell.
It took me a couple days on a couple printers to get this mother.
That is massive.
I've got a friend called Glenn. I'm going to have to send him this.
Size
He'd
doesn't
love
really
it.
matter.
We need a cosplay, guys. We need a cosplay.
No.
Okay.
Kelly, you want a big sword now? Now print a gunblade from Final Fantasy VII.
Is this
Oh,
why?
yeah.
Is this why you're growing the Link style hair, Caleb?
The Link, yes.
It's beautiful.
Link.
Beautiful.
It's not real. Okay. just the aura of Link lives in everyone. Okay. So I did want to talk about one quick thing because you guys have talked about pretty much everything that was on topic this week. Good job. Good job. I haven't played Doom, by the way, but I will. But I did want to mention one thing because we talked about it a while ago, guys. Remember that thing we mentioned? Gosh, I don't think I can actually move it because it's plugged in. Here. We've got the
Vortex. Yes,
yeah, we got the Vortex. So we need to play some War Thunder and do some actual tests with this. I haven't had a chance to really test it out other than playing some Just Cause with it. So this is supposed to be kind of cool for VR because it throws hot blast at you, cool blast at you. I can say from my short experience with it, I had maybe an hour with it on. The most impressive thing that I felt was when you're watching something and you get that heat, you're like, oh, great, it's good at throwing heat at you, which it does so in a roaring rush, not like a heater, more so at a gust. But then as soon, like very quickly, the screen showed like a blizzard scene. And almost immediately I was shot a cool air blast and then immediately right back to heat again. And it was like, that's not something I felt before in any device. So that was like the first.
More of them?
So they do actually
just make it that much more awesome.
You can link them together.
Yeah, you can have two, one on each side, and then they just kind of.
Oh, can you imagine playing like War Thunder or something with that, with like explosions in front of you and stuff?
That's what I want to do. Is I want to play War Thunder. I want to play War Thunder like right away. So it's my main thing. Because the War Thunder is you're actually in a cockpit where you can actually be in airplanes where you're supposed to be feeling the wind and the rush, and when you're hitting your bullets, you're going to be feeling that heat from them. So it actually makes sense. Also, they say car games work really well with it as well. So I'm interested in that for sure. This is a prototype version. I do have to send it back to them just in a couple of days, so it's just a temporary type thing. But once they come out with the real ones, hopefully we'll all get hooked up with that stuff and be able to play some games with them. So I'm gonna find out some more about it, and we'll let you know more.
You don't have an estimated price on that thing yet, or
they said you can pre-order them at $120. So. You know, I guess I can't really, like I said, I can't really comment on if it's worth it or not. Right now, I can say it was cool. No doubt if you're a huge into gaming and you love your gaming setup, especially if you're huge into VR and immersion, I do believe that this device is going to be something that they can actually upgrade with firmware. So having the device itself, once they come out with the commercial version of software upgrades, actually. So because of that, I think it's going to have more longevity than other devices. Plus, you don't have to put it on you. You just literally have to sit down in front of your computer and it's just already there. And you just decide to turn it on without your push button. So,
it's going off actually, or what?
So it plugs in via USB, but it uses it uses two things. It uses your sound waves. It also uses a visual spectrum. So it's got a visual spectrum where it checks your colors as well as it's checking audio waves. And I'm not sure what it does with that, right? So I'm sure it's more complicated.
I remember there was like media.
You could develop for it, right? In Unity, just like a certain item in a game, like would put off a heat or cold. And
I haven't. So far, it works with any video in any game already. So basically, you don't need to develop with it. You just need to make a game and then just play with it.
Just to fine tune it, like wanted a perfect signal or something.
Yeah, like that might be something in the future. Like I said, with software, they could easily do stuff like that, where certain games have certain signature profiles, so they know more so what to do with certain spectrums. That would make more sense as time goes on, but they'd obviously have to have more developer support in time.
Well, I guess
it's cool.
It's clever because in the most part, what lets these things down is that there's an SDK, and other developers are going to bother to use an SDK for something that maybe only a few people own. And in this case, they don't even have to worry. They'll offer the SDK, but it'll also just work, which is, I reckon, they're onto a winner there.
Right, definitely. And I'm interested, like I said, to test it out some more. So I'll let you guys know as that progresses. But like I said, I'm sure we'll all end up with our hands on it if it is worth.
I see in the comments a suggestion for UKLib to play with this thing. Paradise Decay is saying Windlands.
The original, I think I have the original Windlands, luckily.
Yeah. And it might be quite cool as you're swinging through the air, getting hit with cold blasts, you know?
Yeah, I do wonder with that, because what I noticed is while playing certain things, it's not like a constant fan. It is not a fan that imitates, wind in that way. It is more so something that imitates, situational
balloon chair. That's the game.
Right. We'll see. It's definitely worth a try.
Balloon chair deathmatch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We still never actually played balloon chair.
That game was fun. I actually played it a couple times.
I like that's one thing we all need to jump into. And I know you guys briefly talked about it earlier. Echo Arena. It would, we've got 3v. We could play 3v3s right now, 3 versus 3. It would be a lot of fun. And they finally got the point where you can actually join all your friends together, party up. You can actually even spectate now, so you can have your friends kind of flying around as ghosts and just fly around, watching and still, getting to pay attention to the arena. That's a lot of fun. I'm certainly going to be in there in a few hours from now as well. So just
Cool.
Yeah, and I really want to, like you said earlier, you know, Chris, you were mentioning how you guys used to race all the time, and you know, I was partaking in a few of those as well. I definitely want to do that. I think with virtual reality, getting back with your friends and having some more immersive devices is really going to be, you know, pretty cool as we continue to move forward in this world of virtual reality. You know, from the DK2 where we were to where we are even right now, it's kind of really exciting to get to talk about next, you know, what's next? They're going to hook something up to my body. You know, it's just, we're really like, it's kind of, I feel spoiled almost, but it is pretty cool.
Well, have you entered any tournaments yet? Have you won anything, or I mean,
with ESL? So with Echo Arena, I was in a clan. We were a team. We were the three wise men, me and a guy named Talmeyer and Jables. And the problem is the hurricane came, and two of us here in Clearwater, and the other guy was in Texas, and we were both out, you know, alternating weekends basically. And then OC4 came and I went to Russia. So no, I didn't get in any tournaments. That's the last time I was competing with people on the level where I thought I was like pretty amazing. At this point, the game is not like, the game is difficult, but it's also easy. Anybody can jump in and pick it up. There's a lot of nice people in there. So at this point, there's a lot of competition. And you know, when I jump in right now, I still feel like I'm pretty awesome at it. I still feel like I can take anybody one-on-one, but it's a game. It's a team game. It's 3v3. So as amazing as I think I am, if my other two teammates and I don't practice or we're not jiving, you know, three other guys can kick our butt. So it's really kind of a matter of how you play with others, how you can play with teammates, and how you can, you know, just learn to be not only an individual, but to work with other people. So I have a lot of fun with it. We play each week. Right now, we've never won a week tournament. I just joined a clan called Easy Money, and that's got, I believe it's Shiz and Taylor. So
talking of achievements, I just got to put it out there then. Did I do it again? Hold on. I'm trying to... there we go, yeah. No, I just want to point out that GameHard 4.0 is still the master cattle milker in the world.
This is not something to boast about. This is not something to boast about.
5,000?
This is live, everybody. I am still #1 in the world. So
I'm in the top 10.
You're in the top 10. I couldn't get past about 500.
Oh, you're at number 9, reality check.
So GameHard, do we have proof of this?
This is proof. You're watching it.
Is there video proof?
Oh, look at me. I'm on the charts. I'm on the charts.
So if there's not video proof, I'm going to go and beat your score right now.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Hold on.
With that.
So beat your score right now.
Bring it.
I don't need to prove that it happened.
GameHard, bring it up again. I'm actually on that, aren't I?
Oh, hold on.
I'm actually on the list. I've made a top something. Would you believe it?
No, you're not on the list.
No, I am on the list. I just saw my name. I'm not hallucinating.
Let's see.
Right down the bottom. Right down there. Yay! Number 15.
UKRifter.
Scraping in there. Just.
He can milk it.
Yeah. I can milk it.
You, though. I see that.
Nafy has beaten me. This is not surprising. He's young. He knows how to handle the nipples.
Hey, don't patronize us, man.
He's closer to those days in his life, you know. They're a distant memory for me. But there you go. And on that bombshell, let's end the stream. No. Caleb, so just to be clear, your tournament, are you actually playing today then? I heard a rumor.
Yeah. Every Sunday we play. It's usually at like 5 o'clock, so it's not for another hour and 15 minutes. So you have to sign in. Once you sign in, people have to ready up. Once you ready up, I mean, it's kind of a long process, but you've got an hour and a half kind of waiting. So.
Oh yeah, okay. Sounds like one of our live streams, right? Usually an hour and a half of messing around, and then someone's computer crashes. Then Billy's just like walked off, leaving a chair behind. Brilliant.
What?
No, we're just talking about you. Yeah. So after this stream, we were talking about doing a little bit of standout, which I don't know if you've got that one, Caleb. Have you? Are you?
I think he does.
He's gone.
I'm pretty sure Caleb has standout. I'll check. I can tell you in a second.
All right, then maybe we can drag everybody into standout, and that would be a rather super way to end the evening.
I just show you and Chris.
Yep, Caleb has it. He's not played it, but he has standout.
I do have standout. I've just watched you guys play every time you guys are playing. It's right when I'm finishing work, and we haven't had a chance to play it, but I would like to play.
If we're gonna do this thingy, stand out, could we bring in those that moonshiner guy you play with, Chris, and the guy who likes to beat his wife? Can we?
I don't know who that is.
We shouldn't probably associate with those kind of people.
Wait, yeah, no, this is
no. It was an accident. We were playing in VR, so he described. He explained.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. Sorry.
Well, I'll try to do this fit, I guess.
We need to be all PC. Think about the times we're in right now, okay?
Yeah,
No, it's Java Bart, and basically, while climbing a ladder in Standout, you managed to uppercut his wife, which you don't do that.
Yeah, that sucks. To be fair, was his wife just walking around while he was playing in the
right?
multiplayer VR game? Was
walk in front of people, waving their arms around?
Day one? I mean,
I used to have a sign that I'd put on the door. I found it on like Google Images or something that said something about caution, Oculus Rift in use. If you enter this area, you may get punched in the face.
I want one of those.
See, that's a disclaimer, and then when you do it, you're like,
that's all you gotta have is disclaimer, and then you can punch
sign. So I just got to. There's a guy, and I'm going to shout him out real quick. Mr. Killer in Echo Arena. Love you, Mr. Killer. He's always in there. He's a good player. He's a really good player. But man, I heard him punch his sister so hard, and like I immediately heard the mother in the house like, "What are you doing?" And the sister's crying, and he's like pulls his off, and he's like, "I couldn't see." And it's like nobody can really get mad at you because like of course he didn't see her, and he's swinging for the disc and. Yeah, like it's a game where you constantly hear people breaking glasses, lights, people. Echo Arena is the game for fun as well as hearing controllers slap walls.
Yeah, but you know, if you had an HTC Vive with camera pass through, then you know it's the perfect crime, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, even with the Rift, you've got the little bonus that if you really don't like someone, you could tilt your head up a little bit, look through the nose gap, and give them a quick dig. You know,
I got the velour cover.
That's why I don't come visit, Greg. That's why I don't come visit, punk.
Man, VR fails. I'm lucky I have not attributed to the VR fail videos. Surprisingly enough, none of the main VR tuber guys have really attributed much to the main, the VR, the big VR fails. Which maybe that's we have our legs. We know what not to do. We know not to run full speed into the wall or straight at our television sets. I've just been really lucky not to break my window. To be honest, I've been really lucky not to break any of my things because I've certainly hit my TV a few times. I've hit that window really hard a lot, and I've just, man.
One of the first times I put my youngest kid into a game, and it was that really, really cartoony zombie game where you have to move your hands around to run. That was actually quite a fun game. So I put him in it. I said, right, you just have to sort of run on the spot, and you run along. And he ran off into the wall, and I just caught him. And I put him back in the middle, and I explained to him again, said, no, you just run on the spot. You pretend to run. And I put the visor down, and he just went straight off into the wall again. You know, it just... there was just no stopping him. But hey, there you go. So chaps, if we're going to go away and do a bit of standout, maybe we should call it there, unless we have any more questions in the chat. And people recounting their punching of TVs and punching of families in the chat there. So it obviously happens quite a lot.
Yeah.
Respect the VR.
That's right. That's right. My wife comes home and she closes my door sometimes, thinking it'll make her more safe. It just makes me hot in here, but I feel more safe.
All right, guys. Should we call it there? I think we've been live for about exactly an hour, which is actually not bad for us. All right. Fantastic. Thanks, everybody, so much for watching this week. So I've been hosting this time. Maybe it's... a little kiss from Billy there. Maybe it's someone else. Maybe Caleb's hosting next week. It's been a learning curve, but I'm hopefully it's been okay. And I'll see you, Game Hard. Thanks for stopping by, and please come back next week. You've been a great guest member of the team. Billy, again, thanks for dropping in. Caleb, look at this guy. What an attractive Florida man.
If Wayne would have been here, we finally would have had the entire team.
I mean, lovely bearded.
He'll show up in an hour.
Bearded Don, and lovely, beautiful Greg, as I like to call him.
Lovely,
and me.
Beautiful Greg.
Lovely.
I was trying to do some nice outros and be pleasant about all of you. You've ruined it.
What's ever pleasant about me?
Right, I'm just hanging up now. Bye, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.
Yo, what's up there, guys? It's Immersive Gamer 83, and thank you very much.
What's up, guys? Billy here with Pretty Neat VR.
Cooking and good looking. Welcome back.
Hello, and welcome back to another Reality Check VR video.